President Donald Trump is reportedly considering a significant escalation in U.S. military support for Ukraine by potentially supplying Tomahawk cruise missiles, according to Washington Post journalist David Ignatius. As part of a broader $10 billion aid package, Trump has already pledged to provide Ukraine with Patriot missile systems, air defense weapons, and artillery, transferred via NATO allies. However, discussions are underway about authorizing the use of new offensive weaponry, including 18 long-range ATACMS missiles that Ukraine currently possesses. These missiles, capable of striking targets up to 300 kilometers away, could target key Russian military sites such as bases, airfields, and supply depots well inside Russian territory, although they do not reach major cities like Moscow or St. Petersburg. The possibility of deploying Tomahawk cruise missiles, which were recently used by the U.S. against Iran, is also being explored. If launched from Ukrainian soil, Tomahawks could reach deeper into Russia, including Moscow and St. Petersburg. While the missiles were part of recent talks as late as last Friday, they are currently off the delivery list, though they could be introduced later should Trump decide to increase pressure on Russia. This shift comes amid growing frustration from Trump, who has threatened severe tariffs on Russia if it fails to reach a peace agreement within 50 days. In a recent phone call with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, Trump pressed for more aggressive action against Russian targets, questioning why Ukraine had not struck Moscow. Zelensky responded that Ukraine could do so if given the necessary weapons. Initially, Trump believed it would be straightforward to negotiate peace with his longtime associate Vladimir Putin. However, he later concluded that only a sharp increase in the cost of conflict could compel the Russian leader to cease hostilities. Speaking with NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, Trump described Putin as a tough guy and acknowledged the need for a stronger stance. According to sources close to the administration, Trump's decision to escalate stems from three main factors: a perception that Putin was ignoring U.S. calls for peace, admiration for the effectiveness of recent American military strikes, such as those involving B-2 bombers and Tomahawks, and a belief that Putin would only negotiate under the threat of intensified force. This approach aligns with the Russians saying Trump reportedly adopted, escalate to de-escalate. As previously reported, Trump has given Putin a 50-day deadline to end the war in Ukraine, warning that failure to do so will result in new sanctions and increased military pressure.